The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. 3 Friendly Tales. Pooh gets stuck. Pooh's nose twitched as he stood outside Rabbit's house. "Hello," Pooh shouted. "Is anybody home?" "Is that you, Pooh?" asked a reluctant rabbit from inside. "Oh dear, it is you. Well, come in, Pooh. I'm just having a little snack of bread and honey. Would you like some honey on your bread?" Rabbit asked after he let Pooh in. "Never mind about the bread. I'll just take a small helping of honey," said Pooh. And so Pooh began to eat. And he ate, and he ate, and he ate, and he ate, until Rabbit had no honey left. Pooh stood to go. "Thank you, Rabbit," he said. "That was delicious." Then Pooh pushed himself into the hole that was the doorway to Rabbit's house. But he didn't get far. Instead, he got stuck. "It all comes from eating too much honey," said Rabbit. Rabbit ran out his back door and got Christopher Robin. But even Christopher Robin could not unstick poor Pooh. "Pooh Bear, there's only one thing we can do. Wait for you to get thin again," Christopher Robin finally said. Soon, Gopher, the excavation expert, arrived. He knew how to dig, but he didn't know anything about getting bears out of holes. Gopher opened his lunchbox. "Care for some honey?" he asked Pooh. "No, no," cried Rabbit, racing out of his house. "Don't feed the bear!" Rabbit was getting tired of having part of Pooh in his living room. Finally, one morning, Pooh budged, and Christopher Robin came back with all of Pooh's friends. Eeyore pulled on Kanga. Kanga pulled on Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin pulled on Pooh as hard as he could. Pooh was still stuck. The others were pulling as hard as they could outside Rabbit's house. Inside his house, Rabbit aimed his head and got ready to run. Picking up speed, he smashed into Pooh's backside, pushing and smashing with all of his might. Pop! Pooh shot right out of Rabbit's front door and flew up into the sky like a rocket. "Watch out!" yelled Christopher Robin as Pooh sailed up towards a big tree. Pooh's head and shoulders disappeared right into another hole, this one high up in the tree. "Don't worry, Pooh, we'll get you out," Christopher Robin cried, but Pooh was not at all unhappy. The hole where he had landed was full of honey. "No hurry," Pooh yelled back. "Take your time." And then he laughed and sang as he dipped his paws into the golden honey. Rabbit gets lost. A few weeks later, Rabbit was out picking carrots in his garden. "Hello," cried Tigger as he bounced through the garden, upsetting Rabbit's plants. "Oop, sorry about that," said Tigger after Rabbit scolded him, but bouncing's what Tiggers do best. Early the next morning, Pooh, Piglet, and Tigger met Rabbit in the woods. As usual, Tigger bounced ahead of everybody. "Listen," whispered Rabbit. "I have a plan. Let's teach Tigger a lesson to scare the bounce out of him. We'll take him deep into the woods and then we'll lose him." So, deep into the woods, they hid from Tigger on an old tree trunk. Pooh and Piglet worried that Tigger would be scared, but Rabbit whispered, "We're going to lose Tigger just for tonight. We'll find him again in the morning." Tigger searched high and low for his friends, and then he bounced off into the woods. After Tigger had bounced out of sight, the 3 friends started home. But the woods looked a little different now. Pooh asked Rabbit if they were going in circles. "That's ridiculous," said Rabbit. "You wait here. I'll walk away, and if I don't come back, that proves we're not going in circles." After a nap, Pooh and Piglet found their way home easily. Pooh just followed his tummy to his honey pots, but Rabbit was still wandering around, lost in the mist. All around, he heard frightening noises. "Help!" wailed Rabbit. "Piglet, Pooh, somebody! Please help me!" Suddenly, Tigger came bouncing out of the mist. "Hello, Rabbit," he said. "Tigger," cried Rabbit, "you're supposed to be lost." "Tiggers never get lost, bunny boy," Tigger exclaimed. "Grab my tail and I'll bounce you out of here." And Tigger bounced a very humble and quiet Rabbit all the way home. Bounce, Tigger, bounce. That winter, Tigger took Roo out to play. Roo loved Tigger because he was fun and brave. Roo pointed to a tall tree. "Tigger," he said, "I bet you could climb that tall, tall tree in just 5 bounces." And Tigger bounced up the tree right to the top. But at the top, Tigger did something that Tiggers don't often do. He looked down. "Oh no," said Tigger. "I forgot that Tiggers don't climb trees." He looked down again. "How did this tree get so high?" Tigger held onto the tree trunk as tightly as he could. Roo let go of Tigger's tail and landed on a lower branch. Just then, Tigger saw Pooh and Piglet, who had come out to play in the snow. "Hello!" Tigger shouted, startling his friends with his booming voice. "Tigger's stuck," Roo called down to Pooh and Piglet. It wasn't long before Christopher Robin and the others heard that Tigger and Roo were in trouble. Christopher Robin took off his winter coat. Pooh, Kanga, and Piglet all grabbed a corner. "Jump!" Christopher Robin yelled to Roo. "We'll catch you!" "Whee!" cried Roo as he jumped, and he landed safely in the warm coat. But then it was Tigger's turn. Tigger wouldn't jump. He held on even tighter. "Oh, if I ever get out of this, I promise to never bounce again," said Tigger. "Never!" Rabbit was thrilled by Tigger's promise to never bounce again. He helped Christopher Robin convince Tigger to slide down the tree, 1 inch at a time. It took a long time, but Tigger finally got down. "I'm so happy, I feel like bouncing," cried Tigger as soon as he reached the ground. Rabbit shook his head. "You promised to never bounce again." Tigger remembered, but he looked so sad that everyone, including Rabbit, felt sorry for him. "Well, all right," Rabbit finally said. "Tigger can have his bounce back." "Thank you, Rabbit," Tigger cried. "Come on, let's all bounce." And so Pooh and all his friends bounced off into the snowy 100-acre wood, where they shared many, many more wonderful adventures.